I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Are we there yet?
Nope.
No. But in so many ways,
Absolutely,
we
yes.
absolutely are. This is Brian and Trish, and we are kind of recapping a little bit of what's happened up until this point and then kind of where we're going next. That's actually a good point to kind of bring back up before I take it any further.
Yeah,
is what's really neat is we've begun the process of filling in each of these locations with a place to stay.
So let's catch them up on, since the last video posted, what we have accomplished in the process of just trying to leave.
Yeah.
So that'll be, we've been packing a little bit.
We've done a little.
Not as much as we.
Okay, so Trish and I, we just kind of did something. Actually, Trish did 90% of the work.
Not true.
Okay, so tell me what this is about.
This is our first official box, like where we wrap and paper breakable things that we're packing to put into storage.
Okay.
So not just cleaning out, getting rid of, but like, okay, we're keeping these things, but we're not going to keep them in use right now because we've got 5 months to go. We know we can live without these things for 5 months and that we want them when we finally arrive in maybe 2029. So our first box truly packed.
This is kind of cool because this is setting the stage for, we'll talk about it more later, but I guess really the idea of we're packing the things we know we want to keep. And we'll be getting rid of things to go to Goodwill and things that we're not really interested in. And of course we need some stuff in the house for
Living between now and then.
Right. So anyway, this is our first box of for sure keeping.
But there will be an
we've gotten
explanation for
rid
that.
of a lot of things.
True.
Just dropped off some donations from our stuff.
And
So
we've
that's
gotten a bead on where some things that are still here will go.
Yeah.
And so it just, we don't know, we're just getting rid of it. It's like, no, that it has a home now. So we've actually done a lot of that, but it's still here. So it doesn't feel like we've done a lot.
Okay, I want to show you guys this process and what I find fascinating about this. Sorry, this is just like a collection. But what's fascinating about this is Trish going through, picking out from our collection of silverware what we're going to keep and what we're going to get rid of. And this is funny because there is a rhyme and reason behind all of this. So
It's not
Trish,
about the numbers.
tell me about your favorites and why.
Okay, so this is my least favorite spoon.
All my folks out there, thumbs
And-
up if I'm right about this. This is terrible.
But
that's
my
Brian's
favorite. Sorry,
So-
guys.
And then for spoons, I almost never like a bigger version of a spoon. I always like a smaller version, which is going to be this one, which is the small version of that. But we also have other small spoons, but they're super thin. But I like them because the way they scrape my lip when I use them. But
Okay.
I couldn't get rid of them.
What she's talking about there are these spoons. Now, let me show you something really fast.
That sounds crazy. Oh god.
This has this nice little thin surface that Trish really likes. It
Because,
kind of
like-
turns up at the end.
Too much of anything is just so much. Like, why?
And that's your favorite ice cream spoon, correct? No?
Well, yes, my favorite small ice cream spoon. However, if I'm feeling frisky and I'm ready to just get on it with the ice cream, I'll get a bigger spoon, but not these. I don't want these because it's not quite pointy enough. Also, why we gotta be so aggressive? Like, so bulky. Like, just give me a little more point, because you gotta dig in the corners of the things to get the ice cream out. I don't want to lick the bowl. That's embarrassing. But like, look at how lovely. If you have to go with a bigger spoon, I'm still gonna prefer a smaller spoon.
So I just want to point out, the reason I like this, which is Trish's least favorite spoon,
I can live with it.
is this thing is manly and hefty. This is from the Pottery Barn server series, and I actually bought these years ago because I like the way they do the job.
But
And
wait,
they're sturdy enough that you can scoop ice cream with this thing and it's not going to bend.
which makes me laugh because I'm like, why? These are not ice cream scooper. Like
But
that shouldn't
they're-
be a consideration. Because just eat with the spoon. Like, why we gotta? Why? Okay. Also, though, I have to ask you, soup. Like you got to get it in the. How is anything holding in that? This is so shallow. How do you get soup in your mouth? This has got a little bowl on it at least, right?
Well, I think they're pretty.
Also, you got to open your mouth so wide. There's no note. It's just.
Kind of have a big mouth, so.
Well, I definitely have a big mouth, but still. And we share the same opinion on these because they're sturdy. Like,
Yeah.
I can handle a big fork. I like it to be sturdy. I still am probably going to prefer a small one, which is like kind of me taking one for the team because the boys, they are going to go for the big stuff.
Yes.
So I'm like, oh, you could have a fork. You know which bowl is mine or which
Because
plate
she's always
is
going
mine
to go
because
with
I've got
the
the
smaller.
small one. Okay, so that's. So definitely the Phillips kids make fun of us, but they probably, after looking at this, they might have every right.
Just maybe.
So anybody wants sets? We got multiple. It's whatever is your
So-
pick your poison. Apparently.
Anyway, we got a lot of silverware, and the kids are right. But we just kind of got tired of not being able to find a fork or a spoon, so we just kind of bought multiple sets to cover it.
Teenagers.
There we go. Right.
But we've also been busy, and we'll talk about that and what's kept us busy on the weekends also.
Yeah.
But so the things we've accomplished that were on our get it done list is getting the bookings done
Yes.
for all the lodging between now and January. Except we have two more to do, but it has included a lot. We've had to book flights to Europe.
Yeah.
We've had to book our flights from here to Denver,
Denver to
San
San
Antonio,
Antonio.
San Antonio to Salt Lake back to here,
And then we're driving.
and the ticket. And we've had to book Indianapolis, which isn't necessarily the trip destination, but it's the last little mini trip before we start the big trip.
Right.
So we've booked tickets for the events in Indianapolis and San Antonio. Our storage. Let's
Yes.
talk about that. Okay, we talked about this actually in an earlier episode.
We did.
Where our hopes were, we knew we would get a storage unit. We were hoping, we were going to try approaching a storage unit that met our needs and that we were happy with, location, blah, blah, blah. And asking if we could pay the entire contract up front for a discount. Just that way it's paid, we know it's taken care of, it's not a monthly thing we're dealing with, and maybe we'll get a discount out of it.
Well, here's the crazy thing that happened with that. This seems completely reasonable and logical and an easy sell to somebody. Like you get a guaranteed payment up front for 18 to 24 months out the door.
Like you've already got your money. Like that
And-
would be attractive if I was renting something out. Like
But all of them that we reached out to are based on a scenario on a monthly, month-to-month basis. We have a 1 to 2 month discount if you sign up, but that's as much as they do.
However, we really wanted to see if we could pay all of it up front because then it would not be part of our monthly budget.
Right. Even when there wasn't a steeply discounted price on the front side, even offering to pay up front for that amount of time, they were not interested.
Right, even when we weren't asking for a discount to do that.
Yeah.
They're
like,
can we
well-
just go ahead and pay it? Yeah, we love your price. You don't have to give us a discount. We just want it for 18, 24 months, whatever you're good with us paying up front. So just get it paid. They just could not compute. They
No.
couldn't do it.
And so we actually began searching around. We found a place in Sanford. I had done this for days on end, reaching out to places with a no, clearly.
Or even a no answer. Like they wouldn't even get back to you.
Yeah, it actually took one place over a week to respond.
You know what? I wonder if it's odd. And so they start being suspicious about your intent.
Right.
Like, what are you storing in there, my guy?
I
Like,
mean,
how
we are
many
talking about
bodies can you
Albuquerque.
fit in a 10 by 15? Like, oh, I hadn't thought about
I
that.
hadn't
They're like,
either.
are you storing drugs? Like, what are you doing? Okay, so maybe that might explain. We're so naive. We're like, sounds like a great idea to us.
So we found this place that's in Sanford.
So it's through American Self-Storage, but the actual Sanford location is called Blue Door Storage. Fantastic from the start.
That was great. Okay, so
What?
your memory is amazing.
It is.
So here's the thing is, I'm like, I've already had so many no's. I just assumed they're going to tell me no too. And I was like, Trish, do you want to call them?
I had literally been so unplugged from this process. Brian had been stomping the pavement for days on this, and I'm like, get back to me when you have something. I don't know.
Actually, weeks I had been on this
Okay.
thing.
And I'm like, he'll get it done. Like, somebody will eventually. It'll hit. It'll be fine. I didn't even think about it. So was it a Saturday? It was last
It
weekend.
was a Saturday, yes.
and you were like, do you want to just, and I just Google searched, and I'm like, I'll try these, whatever. I mean, it looks like they have a deal going.
Right.
Or did you
And
find
they had a 10 by 15.
Yeah.
I think we found it, and
the discount was beautiful. I was
Right.
like, shoot, yeah, that's definitely in budget. Let's see.
And I found also that a lot of times they don't tell you what the actual
Regular,
price is
yeah.
going to be.
Yeah, they won't tell you what it goes up to after that. I guess until you get into, you got to sign something. So
Yes.
eventually, you know, but we just didn't want to burn the energy. I called, the guy was, for one, he answered, which was super cool.
And he wasn't even at that location.
No.
He was at the Durham location.
Right. So it's a company that owns all these storage facilities, and the one in Sanford's, I guess, franchise location or whatever. It's called Blue Door. Anyway, so this guy, we talked. He was super great. I'm like expecting a "you're crazy" or "are you trying to store bodies here" kind of vibe. When I asked, is it possible? Like, I love your prices for one. How long does that go? Here's what we're doing. We need 18 to 24 months. That's kind of where I started because I didn't know. It's great. We love the price. Your space looks great. Can we just go ahead and get into contract on this thing? How long does the deal last? What's the regular price once the deal runs out? And would you please consider, like, okay, you set us up on the payment system, because they have to have a system where you pay. I'm like, can we just, like the first payments, do we just pay it all? Like, I just want to pay this.
Also, you did ask if I prepay for 18 to 24 months,
I did ask that.
is there a discount we might get or a better price?
And sir just came straight up. And didn't he put me on hold for a minute, or did he call me back?
Yeah, he's like, hold on just a second. And he was still on the phone. And then I guess he was computing and whatever, and he came back with an offer that was amazing.
Y'all, it was so good. It's so good. So for one, we'd get the discounted price. No, we'd get the full 24 months at a certain rate that was deeply discounted.
Deeply.
And their deal they were running online of the first 3 months of that cost 50%, he said that'll be 50% of your deal rate.
And we prepaid.
And we said, sign me up.
So that was fantastic to be able to lock down on storage unit that we can start moving into.
2 weeks. We're going to start to occupy that place. We have it already paid and locked down for 2 years. We can extend that. He said, just call when it's coming close to time. We'll figure it out. No big
We'll be able to
deal.
see your history and just continue that rate.
Yeah. It literally was so easy. Like, I don't know what to do.
You go, girl.
No, it was just like the dumb luck kind of thing where I was like, you know how like when somebody's doing a puzzle and they're like working on it for days, and like somebody who's not involved or cares absolutely any less walks by and is like 5 pieces, boom, 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 and then walks off and you're like, really? That must have been how you felt.
It was pretty wild because I kept getting no's and no answers, and we just can't do that. So
Do you think it was because I was a girl?
I think it was just because it's a great company, and the guy
Yeah.
was really willing to listen and think outside the box and provide a solution.
Right,
that
it was actually
amazing.
getting to talk to a person was super helpful also, who could think and not just be like, beep, boop, bop, this is just how we do it. I push this button. He was like, oh, cool story. Yeah, let me see. That makes sense. Okay.
So what a blessing.
Yeah.
Because,
The deal was,
the deal is amazing.
let's just say, it came in under half of our budgeted monthly cost for a 10 by 15 of what we had planned ahead and budgeted for. It came in under half, for averaged out per month. It was pretty great.
Yeah.
Here we go. We just came in from down there, and everything's electronic, so we didn't know where the unit was.
So we got this little button.
Yeah.
You press it.
Well, maybe we're so close now it's like you ought to see it. But anyway, it beeped when we were way down there to tell us, come this way to your unit here.
Here's our space.
I think it's really tall.
It's very clean. Yeah, we got plenty of room in here, though.
Babe, we could live in there.
Yeah.
Look,
Furniture is pleasant.
that's it.